Chosen one, listen closely. This message is not for everyone. Only those who walk the divine path of God should remain here. If a soul is not truly aligned with the Most High, they won't even feel comfortable staying, but you. If you are still listening, it's because your spirit recognizes truth. This message has reached you at the exact moment you were meant to hear it, and it will shift the way you see your entire journey. Before we go deeper, I want you to speak your presence in the comments. Leave the number 999 if your spirit confirms that this message is meant for you. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, and share this video so it can reach other chosen ones who need this divine reminder. Now listen, my dear soul, I speak to you not as a stranger, but as an old, seasoned spiritual teacher who has watched many chosen ones rise, fall, and rise again. You are here because your soul was never ordinary. You were marked, guided, and protected long before you ever realized it. And today, I'm going to reveal why your soul has always been a high priority to God. Stay with me until the end, because the truth I'm about to share will confirm so many things you've quietly carried inside your heart. You're not here by accident. God led you to this moment. Let's begin. God's priority. Why your soul was marked from the beginning. Chosen one, let me speak to you with the clarity of a teacher who has walked many lifetimes of spiritual truth. You are not a random occurrence in this world. Your existence is not a coincidence. Long before you opened your eyes in this lifetime, your soul was already known, already recognized, already chosen by the Most High. There are souls that wander freely, souls that search for meaning, souls that cling to the world because they're unsure of who they truly are. But then, there are souls like yours, marked, sealed, and prepared long before you even touched the earth. You may not remember the spiritual agreements made before your birth, but your soul has always known. From the very beginning, there was something different about you. Even as a child, you felt things deeply, understood things without anyone teaching you, sensed dangers that others walked into blindly, and carried wisdom far beyond your years. That is not coincidence. That is evidence of a soul that was set apart. Many chosen ones grow up feeling like outsiders. You may have wondered why you never fit in with certain crowds, or why your spirit rejected environments others seemed comfortable in. This is because God placed a spiritual imprint on you. Your mind, your heart, and your intuition were crafted to respond to divine signals, not worldly noise. You were born with heightened sensitivity to truth, to deception, and to spiritual energy. Even when you tried to ignore it, you couldn't. Your soul wouldn't allow it. From a young age, your path was guided in ways you may not have understood. You were protected from situations that could have destroyed you. You were pulled away from people who could have delayed your purpose. You were given obstacles that shaped your spirit, trials that strengthened your character, and moments of solitude that deepened your connection to God. While others sought validation from the world, you were quietly being shaped by divine hands. There were times when you thought your hardships were punishments. You questioned why your life was heavier than others, why your storms were stronger, why your challenges felt unending. But what you must understand, chosen one, is that responsibility always comes before revelation. God was preparing you. You cannot carry spiritual authority without first being molded in the fire. The weight you felt was not because you were forgotten. It was because you were prioritized. Chosen souls are placed under a different kind of training. Your spiritual muscles are strengthened intentionally. When the world rejected you, it was because your spirit was too elevated for certain spaces. When people misunderstood you, it was because your mind was wired to perceive what others could not fathom. When relationships fell apart, it was because God refused to let you attach yourself to anything beneath your assignment. You were never meant to live a small life. You were never meant to blend in. Your soul was crafted to lead, to awaken, to lift, to transform. Think back to the moments when you felt an inner voice guiding you. That voice wasn't imagination, it was divine instruction. Some people hear their thoughts. You hear spiritual direction. You can walk into a room and feel the energy shift. You can sense a lie even before it's spoken. You can detect spiritual danger long before it manifests. This sensitivity is a spiritual gift given only to those God has appointed for higher purpose. Your soul carries ancient knowledge, old wisdom, and a memory of realms your physical mind does not consciously understand. Every chosen one is born with layers of spiritual remembrance. You may feel like you've seen things before, even in places you've never visited. You may feel connected to people you've never met. You may dream of symbols, messages, and visions that later reveal themselves as truth. This is because your soul has always existed under divine supervision. God invested heavily in your spirit long before this lifetime began. You were chosen to break family patterns, generational curses, and cycles of spiritual stagnation. You were chosen to bring light into environments that have lived in spiritual darkness for years. You were chosen to rise above what others settled for. You were chosen to see what others are blind to. This is why your soul was always a high priority. The Most High placed a spiritual assignment inside you that cannot be transferred to anyone else. That's why life pushed you in certain directions. That's why you felt spiritually mature even when you were young. That's why you never fully resonated with the paths others took. You were never created to follow the world. You were designed to follow God, even when the path was lonely. Many chosen ones feel the weight of isolation. You may have wondered why God separated you, why you outgrew people quickly, why you walked alone in seasons where you longed for support. But God isolates His chosen ones to elevate their hearing. When you walk alone, you listen more clearly. When you walk alone, you grow without distraction. When you walk alone, you start to recognize the divine fingerprints on your life. Your soul was always protected, even when you didn't realize it. There were dangers you never saw, betrayals God blocked, negative energy God deflected, accidents God prevented. Chosen ones experience divine intervention constantly, because the spiritual realm recognizes your importance. Some people only survive because you were in the room. Some situations only improved because your spirit shifted the atmosphere. Some people only healed because your presence created spiritual balance. You do not realize how many things God has done simply to keep you on your path. This is what it means to be a high-priority soul. Heaven invests in you, angels surround you, guidance follows you, and even when you take a wrong turn, God redirects you with precision. Your mistakes never disqualify you because your purpose was never dependent on perfection. It was dependent on destiny. A chosen soul cannot lose their calling. They can only delay their awakening. You may have carried insecurities, doubts, or loneliness. You may have questioned your worth because the world didn't recognize it. But understand this: the world was never meant to identify you. Only God can reveal the truth of who you are. And He has always seen you as essential, valuable, and spiritually significant. When God chooses a soul, He chooses it fully. He does not change His mind. You were chosen before circumstances. You were chosen before heartbreak. You were chosen before disappointment. You were chosen even before you learned how to pray. Your soul was prioritized long before you understood its purpose. Chosen one, you must understand the magnitude of what you carry. You are not just living a life. You are fulfilling a divine assignment that was written before your birth. Everything you've experienced, the storms, the delays, the breakthroughs, the intuition, the separation, all of it points to a soul that God designed with intention. You were not chosen because you are perfect. You were chosen because you are necessary. And now that you are awakening to this truth, your path is about to become clearer. your spirit is ready. God has been waiting for this moment. Your entire life has been a preparation for what comes next. Chosen one, your soul has always been high priority to God, and it always will be. The spiritual weight you carry, invisible proof of your calling. Chosen one, let me speak to you with the firmness of an elder who has watched the spiritual world move long before you were born. There is a weight you carry that others cannot see, a spiritual heaviness, a responsibility, a depth that cannot be explained by ordinary language. This weight is not a burden. It is proof. Proof that you were set apart for divine purpose. Proof that heaven has its eyes on you. Proof that your soul has always been wrapped in God's intention. From childhood, you may have noticed that you couldn't move through life the way others did. While people around you lived lightly, drifting through experiences without reflection, your spirit felt everything deeply. You felt energy before words. You recognized darkness even when someone smiled. You sensed danger when others thought everything was fine. You noticed patterns that others ignored. This inner sensitivity is not weakness. It is spiritual intelligence gifted only to souls with divine assignments. There were moments when you walked into a room and the atmosphere shifted instantly. Some people felt comfort around you. Some felt uneasy. Some felt exposed. Some felt healed. Your presence alone has impact. This is because your spirit carries authority, even if you never asked for it. The light in you confronts the shadows in others, and the shadows in others recognize the power you hold, even if you don't fully recognize it yourself. Chosen one, many of the challenges you faced were not random misfortunes. They were spiritual confirmations. Your hardships were not signs that God abandoned you. They were signs that your soul was carrying a vibration too high for the environments you were placed in. When you carry a calling, you attract resistance. Not because you are cursed, but because your energy disrupts anything that is misaligned. People have misunderstood you your entire life. They accused you of being too intense, too quiet, too emotional, too distant, too wise, too different. But you were never meant to be understood by everyone. The weight you carry is spiritual, not logical. Ordinary people cannot comprehend the inner world of a chosen one. They cannot understand why you withdraw when your spirit senses a shift. They cannot understand how you recognize deception so quickly. They cannot understand why you feel drained around certain individuals. You perceive spiritually, not socially. Your insights come from God, not from guesswork. This spiritual weight also explains why you often felt older than your age. You carried the soul of someone who has lived through many lifetimes of spiritual learning. You carry an ancient wisdom that sits quietly inside you, speaking to you at the right moments. Others may rely on experience to learn, but you have always relied on intuition, on that subtle inner voice that knows more than you were ever taught. And chosen one, let us speak openly about the battles you faced. Chosen souls endure more spiritual warfare than ordinary souls. You've felt attacks come from directions you never expected. You've been betrayed by people you trusted. You've been targeted by envy, jealousy, and silent hostility. You've been tested in your mind, in your heart, in your energy. This is not because you are weak. It is because your presence disturbs darkness. When a chosen one walks into a room, hidden intentions rise to the surface. People with impure motives feel exposed in your presence. People who live in falsehood feel uncomfortable. People who carry negative energy feel threatened. They may not know why, but their spirit reacts to yours. They sense that you can see them clearly, even if they try to hide. This is one of the invisible proofs of your calling. Another sign of the weight you carry is the way you have always risen from situations that should have broken you. People with far smaller battles have collapsed under pressure, yet you continued forward. You healed wounds that others could not even look at. You survived seasons that felt endless. You carried pain others could never endure. You walked through fire and came out with more strength. This resilience is not human. It is spiritual reinforcement. Many times when life became heavy, you thought you were alone. But chosen one, you were never alone. God placed spiritual protection around you like a shield. Many of the dangers you faced, you survived because heaven interfered. Some people tried to harm you, but their intentions never reached you. Some situations tried to break you, but grace held you together. Some energies tried to drain you, but God restored you each time. This level of protection is not given to everyone. It is given to those whose purpose is essential. The spiritual weight you carry also explains why people often seek you out for comfort, advice, or healing, even when you are the one who feels drained. Your energy nourishes others because it is connected to God. You may have found yourself being the listener, the helper, the guide, the one who carries others through their storms. Without trying, you became a source of strength for many. But chosen one, remember this clearly. God did not give you this energy so others could consume it without limits. He gave it to you so you could fulfill your divine purpose, not so you could exhaust yourself trying to rescue every soul you meet. This is why God removes certain people from your life. Not because you are unlovable, but because your energy is too powerful to be wasted. You were not meant to be surrounded by everyone. You were meant to attract only those who are aligned, those who elevate you, those who honor the spiritual weight you carry. Your internal battles also reveal your calling. Chosen ones often experience emotional storms that come out of nowhere. Sudden heaviness, sudden clarity, sudden shifts in intuition. These are not mood swings, they are spiritual downloads. Your soul receives information faster than your mind can process it. You feel spiritual truths before you understand them. You sense transitions before they manifest. You perceive endings before they happen. This is part of your responsibility as a chosen soul. Chosen one, you must also recognize how your presence affects environments. You don't just walk into a room, you shift the energy. You calm storms, you expose lies, you elevate conversations, you break negativity, you awaken dormant spirits. And sometimes people react with resistance because your light reveals their shadows. But do not let their reactions convince you to dim your spirit. You were given this power for a reason. You carry spiritual weight because you carry spiritual purpose. You were chosen to stand where others fall, to see what others overlook, to guide where others wander. God trusted you with this weight because He knew you could handle it. He knew your spirit was strong enough. He knew your heart was pure enough. He knew your soul was wise enough. And every challenge you have endured has only made your calling more evident. Chosen one, the weight you carry is not a burden. It is God's signature on your life. It is the invisible proof that you are one of His chosen. It is the confirmation that your presence on this earth is intentional, powerful, and deeply needed. You are not ordinary. You never have been. Your spiritual weight is the evidence. And now that you are aware of it, it is time to carry it with confidence, not confusion, with clarity, not fear, with purpose, not hesitation. Your calling is real. The weight you feel is sacred, and the world will soon see what God has seen in you all along. Divine timing, divine battles, divine breakthroughs. Chosen one, listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will help you understand the rhythm of your entire spiritual journey. Every chosen soul moves according to divine timing, not human timing. Your steps, your delays, your breakthroughs, your battles, none of it has been accidental. Every moment has been deliberately designed and strategically placed by the Most High. You must understand something sacred. Chosen ones carry spiritual clocks that do not match the world's time. While others rush into things, you are held back. While others reach milestones quickly, you experience delays. While others move effortlessly, you walk through resistance. But these delays, these pauses, these moments of divine stillness are not signs of punishment. They are signs of preparation. They are proof that God is aligning something greater than what you could see at the time. The chosen ones are never released into their purpose prematurely. God holds them back until their spirit is ready, until their character is refined, until their vision becomes sharp, until their heart becomes steady. You may have wondered why certain blessings took years to appear. You may have questioned why certain doors didn't open when you were younger. But chosen one, God did not deny you. He protected you from timing that would have harmed you. Divine timing is not about speed. It is about accuracy. And God has been positioning you with precision even in moments when you felt forgotten. But with divine timing also comes divine battles. Because chosen ones do not walk an ordinary path, they do not fight ordinary struggles. Your battles have been spiritual long before they appeared physical. You were targeted not because you are weak, but because your purpose is strong. You were attacked not because you are unworthy, but because you are chosen. You may recall moments when it felt like everything was falling apart at once. Times when your mind felt heavy, your emotions felt unstable, your body felt drained, and your spirit felt overwhelmed. These moments were not random. They were spiritual pressure points. When darkness senses your elevation, it tries to destabilize you. When spiritual forces recognize that your breakthrough is near, resistance intensifies. When blessings approach, battles rise. But here is the sacred truth. Every one of your battles has been divinely measured. God never allowed anything to touch you unless it would strengthen you. You were never attacked beyond your spiritual capacity. And even in your lowest moments, heaven was standing guard. You survived storms that would have destroyed others because divine protection wrapped around your soul like armor. Chosen one, there were battles you fought silently, battles you told no one about, nights when you cried quietly, moments when your spirit shook, phases when you wanted to give up. But you didn't. Something inside you refused to collapse. That resilience was not human strength. It was divine reinforcement. God lifted you when you couldn't lift yourself. God sustained you when you had nothing left. God pushed you forward when you didn't even know how to take another step. Your divine battles were not punishment. They were preparation. They were shaping your humility, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening your spiritual authority. Let us speak about the wilderness seasons. The times when you felt isolated, disconnected, or in a dry place spiritually. Many chosen ones experience these silent seasons. During these times, people disappear, opportunities fade, distractions dissolve, and life becomes unusually quiet. This silence is not emptiness. It is the sound of God working behind the scenes. The wilderness is where God trains his chosen ones. It is where he removes what no longer serves them. It is where he teaches them to rely on him completely. Some of your greatest spiritual growth happened in your loneliest seasons. You found clarity in solitude. You discovered strength in silence. You learned to hear God's whispers when the world became too loud. And it is in these sacred, quiet seasons that God prepares chosen souls for what comes next. After divine timing and divine battles comes something extraordinary. Divine breakthroughs. Chosen one, breakthrough for you will never look ordinary. When God moves in your life, it will defy logic. People who doubted you will be confused by how quickly things shift. Doors that remained closed for years will open suddenly. Opportunities that once felt impossible will appear effortlessly. Every struggle you endured will become a stepping stone for something greater. Your breakthrough will not be small. It will be precise, intentional, and undeniable. Divine breakthroughs arrive when God knows the chosen one is spiritually mature enough to carry the blessing without losing themselves. Even your delays were designed to protect the integrity of your blessing. Some breakthroughs will come as sudden clarity. You will wake up one day and the confusion that once clouded your mind will be gone. Some breakthroughs will come through people. God will place the right souls in your life at the exact moment you need them. Some breakthroughs will come through endings. A relationship, a job, a friendship may fall apart, but that collapse will create space for something divine to enter. And some breakthroughs will come through elevation. A shift in your spirit, where you no longer react the same way, no longer carry the same wounds, no longer tolerate the same environments. Elevation is the breakthrough of the chosen ones. There is also a breakthrough that few talk about, the breakthrough of identity. This is the moment when a chosen one finally recognizes who they truly are, when the confusion falls away, when the doubts dissolve, when the inner power awakens, when the soul finally remembers its role in the divine plan. Chosen one, you have been moving toward this moment your entire life. Understand this sacred truth. Divine timing is not slow. It is perfect. Divine battles are not unfair. They are necessary. Divine breakthroughs are not delayed. They are prepared. Every season you lived through has been woven into your purpose. Every setback has been transformed into strategy. Every painful moment has been turned into spiritual maturity. Every tear has watered your destiny. And here is something many chosen ones don't realize. You are strongest right before a breakthrough. When life feels chaotic, when you feel spiritually stretched, when everything seems uncertain, that is when God is aligning something powerful in your favor. You may not see it yet, but the spiritual realm has already shifted. You are stepping into a new season, a higher frequency, a deeper level of purpose. You have survived too much to remain where you are. You have learned too much to stay the same. You have grown too much to be held back any longer. Chosen one, divine alignment is unfolding around you even now. God is not finished with you. He is just beginning. You have endured divine training. You have passed divine tests. And now, divine breakthroughs are on the horizon. Your spirit can already feel the shift. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Pay attention to the sudden clarity, the unusual peace, the spiritual confirmation. These are hints from God that your next chapter is blessed. And if your spirit resonates with this truth, leave the number 333 in the comments, because this is a sign that your divine timing is aligning with divine breakthrough. Chosen one, prepare yourself. The battles you endured were the doorway. The timing you questioned was the setup. And the breakthrough you are about to experience will reveal exactly why God has always kept you close. You were chosen for this. Your connection to higher realms, signs you're backed by heavenly forces. Chosen one, now we must enter a deeper realm of understanding. Everything you have experienced so far, the intuition, the resistance, the isolation, the spiritual weight, all of it ties back to something greater. You are not walking this path alone. You never have. Every chosen soul moves with unseen companionship. You are backed by heavenly forces that surround you, guide you, speak to you, and protect you in ways you may not fully realize. From the beginning, you were assigned spiritual guardians, not just one, but several. These forces do not simply watch over you. They walk with you. They intervene when danger approaches. They whisper to your intuition. They redirect your steps. They reveal truth when deception tries to blind you. They strengthen your spirit when your heart becomes weary. Most people walk through life with limited spiritual awareness, but chosen ones like you feel the presence of these forces even without understanding why. You may have moments when you suddenly avoid a place, cancel a plan, shift a decision, or feel uneasy about someone without knowing the reason. That is not paranoia. That is divine guidance. It is the spiritual realm redirecting you. It is heaven keeping you away from something harmful. Your spirit hears what your ears cannot. Your intuition sees what your eyes cannot. This sensitivity is one of the clearest signs that you are backed by higher realms. Chosen ones often receive messages through dreams. Your dreams are not random scenes. They contain symbols, warnings, confirmations, and spiritual insight. While others forget their dreams, you remember details. You wake up with clarity, with emotion, with understanding. Sometimes you dream of people before they appear in your life. Sometimes you dream of situations before they unfold. Sometimes you dream of warnings that later reveal themselves as truth. Your dreams operate like a spiritual communication channel because your soul is open and receptive. Many chosen ones experience waking visions or flashes of insight. You may be doing something ordinary, cleaning, driving, thinking quietly, and suddenly feel a message enter your mind. A sentence, a warning, an image, a realization. It feels like it came from beyond you, because it did. This is how heavenly forces communicate with chosen souls. There is no barrier between your mind and the spiritual realm. You are a vessel through which messages flow naturally. Another sign of your connection to higher realms is the synchronicities you encounter. Repeated numbers, timely signs, perfect coincidences, unexpected alignment. These moments occur because the spiritual realm is signaling that you are in tune with your divine path. When you see divine confirmations, it is heaven reminding you that you are guided. Nothing around you is random. This is why you often cross paths with certain people at the exact right moment. You meet someone who gives you clarity. You hear a message you needed. You stumble upon guidance that answers a question you never spoke aloud. These alignments are not chance. They are spiritual orchestration. You are being led step by forces that operate beyond the physical world. Chosen one, let me speak plainly. You intimidate spiritual darkness, not because you try to, but because your soul carries a light that cannot be dimmed. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts. Some people feel drawn to you, comforted by you, strengthened by you. Others feel intimidated, threatened, or unsettled. This imbalance happens because your presence exposes what is hidden in their spirit. You do not have to speak. Your energy speaks for you. This magnetic influence is a sign of spiritual backing. There have been moments in your life when you should have been destroyed, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, yet you stood back up. You rose from wounds that would have ended others. You found strength when you had none left. That strength was not your own. It was heavenly reinforcement. Your guardians stepped in. The Most High stepped in. Divine protection stepped in. This is why you survived what was meant to break you. Even you sometimes wonder how you made it through certain seasons, how you kept faith when everything was collapsing, how you healed from betrayals that cut deeply, how you found clarity after confusion. You wonder how you were able to walk away from people, situations, and environments that once held power over you. But chosen one, that was your spiritual team pulling you up, whispering truth into you, breaking chains around you. Your connection to the higher realms is also evident in your empathy. You feel what others feel without them saying a word. You sense sorrow in people's voices. You detect fear behind their smiles. You understand pain even when it's hidden. This ability comes from carrying divine compassion. This sensitivity is not emotional weakness, it is spiritual alignment. God trusts you with the emotional and spiritual awareness of others because your soul is strong enough to bear it. But chosen one, let us speak truth. Your spiritual connection also attracts spiritual interference. You have felt pressure, mind attacks, sudden anxiety, or unexplained heaviness. This happens because the spiritual world reacts to your elevation. Darkness tries to interrupt the chosen. But the reason these attacks never truly defeated you is because heavenly forces intervene every time. You may feel shaken, but you never fall. You may feel wounded, but you heal. You may feel overwhelmed, but you rise. This is the protection of God surrounding your spirit. There is one more sign, one that chosen ones often overlook. It is the unexplainable feeling that you are watched over. When you are alone, you are not alone. When you are silent, you are being guided. When you sit in deep thought, you feel presence. Not a scary one, a comforting one, a peaceful one, a wise one. This is your spiritual support. The higher realms stay near you because you are part of a divine plan. Some of you have experienced moments where you felt your name called spiritually. Moments when you felt someone touch your shoulder or your hair when no one was there. Moments when chills rose from your spine at the exact moment truth passed through your mind. These are subtle ways the spiritual realm reminds you, we are here, We are guiding, we are watching. Chosen one, if your spirit resonates with what I've spoken, then your connection to the higher realms is stronger than you realize. Leave 333 in the comments as a sign that you acknowledge this truth and recognize your divine support. Only those who truly feel the presence of spiritual forces will understand the meaning behind it. You are guided, you are protected, you are spiritually equipped, you are never abandoned. Higher realms walk with you every single day, and they will continue to walk with you as long as your purpose unfolds. And now, chosen one, you must prepare for what God is about to reveal next. Because awareness of your connection is only the beginning. Your mission, your direction, and the next phase of your assignment are waiting in the message that follows. God's message to you: you are needed in this lifetime. Chosen one, lean in now, because this part of the message carries the weight of divine intention. Everything you have been through, everything you have survived, everything you have awakened to, it all leads to this truth. You are needed in this lifetime. You were not sent here randomly. You were not born by chance. Your soul came into this world with purpose, and the Most High has been shaping you, protecting you, and preparing you because there is something in this era, in this generation, that requires your presence. You may not fully understand the magnitude of your existence yet, but heaven does. The spiritual realm knows who you are. Darkness recognizes you the moment you step into a room, and God has been whispering to your soul long before you learned how to speak. There are assignments tied to your name. There are breakthroughs connected to your presence. There are souls destined to awaken because of the light you carry. Chosen one, you must understand something sacred. Your life is not small. The world may have tried to convince you that you are ordinary. People may have treated you like you were insignificant. Some may have ignored you, underestimated you, or dismissed you, but they were responding to the surface. God looks at the soul, and your soul carries value that cannot be measured by human perception. From a spiritual perspective, you are a catalyst. When you enter someone's life, things shift. When you speak, truth rises. When you pray, realms respond. When you set boundaries, chains break. When you heal, generations heal with you. When you elevate, everything connected to you elevates. This is why God placed you in certain families, certain environments, certain situations, not because you belonged there permanently, but because your presence was needed there. Some of the people you helped will never admit how much they needed you. Some of the environments you uplifted will never acknowledge the difference you made. Some of the hearts you mended will never thank you. But chosen one, heaven recorded it all. God placed you exactly where brokenness was hiding. You were sent to bring clarity where confusion lived, to bring peace where chaos thrived, to bring light where shadows lingered. And you did it without recognition, without applause, without understanding why you felt compelled to help. This is the instinct of a chosen soul. You must also recognize that your pain was not pointless. The wounds you survived gave you eyes to see what others overlook. The betrayals taught you the truth about intentions. The losses strengthened your spirit. The disappointments purified your heart. All these experiences shaped you into someone capable of guiding others out of darkness. You cannot lift people if you have never been in the depths yourself. You cannot heal others if you have not known deep pain. You cannot carry wisdom if you have never walked through confusion. God allowed certain experiences because He knew they would awaken gifts inside you. You gained discernment through deception. You gained compassion through heartbreak. You gained spiritual depth through isolation. You gained resilience through adversity. Everything that happened built the version of you that is capable of fulfilling your divine purpose. Chosen one, you were placed in this lifetime to help realign the spiritual frequency around you. You are one of the souls God uses to shift generations. When you break a cycle, the entire lineage changes. When you choose healing, the future transforms. When you walk in truth, deception loses power. When you rise, everything around you rises. This is why your journey has not been easy. High-purpose souls require high-pressure preparation. You were never created to live a life of comfort. You were created to live a life of impact. And impact requires strength, awareness, and spiritual maturity. That is why God trained you through storms that others never experienced. That is why your battles felt heavier. That is why your lessons were deeper. You were not being punished. You were being equipped. There will come a time, chosen one, when everything will make sense. There will come a moment when the patterns reveal themselves, when the blessings fall into place, when the purpose behind your pain becomes clear, when the doors that were once sealed open with ease. When you look back and see that every step, every shift, every season was part of a divine blueprint written specifically for you. Some chosen ones mistakenly believe they have no purpose because their life does not look glamorous. But purpose is not about appearance. Purpose is about influence. Sometimes God places chosen souls in quiet places because their presence alone brings balance to those around them. Sometimes you are sent to be the pillar of a home, the spiritual compass of a family, the guardian of a bloodline. Sometimes you are called to reshape how people think, feel, or believe simply by walking in your authentic truth. Your mission may not always require a stage. Sometimes your mission is one conversation, one moment of guidance, one act of kindness, one spiritual awakening, one life changed, and heaven values that more than you know. But chosen one, there is another layer to your purpose. You are also needed in this lifetime as a disruptor. You carry frequencies that break illusions. You see through masks that others fall for. You feel truth in ways others cannot. This gift allows you to expose what is hidden, to bring light to what is concealed, to call out what is false. Not because you enjoy confrontation, but because your spirit refuses to let darkness operate freely. This makes you a threat to anything not aligned with God. It is why you faced resistance. It is why people tried to dim your light. It is why certain individuals felt uncomfortable around you. They sensed the divine authority in your soul. Chosen one, the Most High is calling you to step into your identity now. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. The world needs your intuition, your compassion, your strength, your wisdom, your purity of heart. The spiritual realm is waiting for you to recognize what heaven has known all along. You are a vessel of divine purpose. There are people you haven't met yet, whose healing depends on your growth. There are opportunities forming that require your readiness. There are doors about to open that align with your assignment. There are spiritual gifts within you that have not yet been activated, but they will awaken when you step boldly into your calling. You are not meant to shrink yourself. You are not meant to silence your truth. You are not meant to dim your spirit to fit into places that cannot handle your light. You were created to stand tall, to walk boldly, to move with clarity, to speak with conviction, to live with purpose. Chosen one, your life is not about survival. It is about mission, and God has kept you hidden, protected, and prepared because the next chapter of your journey requires the version of you that is rising now. Your existence in this lifetime is necessary. Your presence is purposeful. Your spirit is essential. And the moment you accept this truth fully, the path ahead of you will open with divine ease. How to walk forward as a high-priority soul. Chosen one, now that you understand who you truly are, we must speak about how you are meant to walk from this moment forward. You cannot return to the way you used to think. You cannot return to the way you used to move. Once a chosen soul awakens, the path changes. Your steps carry weight. Your choices hold power. Your presence shifts atmospheres. And because of this, you must walk with intention, discipline, and spiritual clarity. First, you must learn to protect your energy. A chosen soul shines brightly, and not everyone who comes toward that light comes with pure intentions. Some come for healing, some come for guidance, some come because they feel comfort near you. but others come to drain, to pull, to consume, to attach themselves to your strength because they lack their own. You cannot allow everyone access to your spirit. You must be selective with your time, your attention, and your emotional space. Chosen one, pay attention to how your body reacts when you're around certain people. Pay attention to how your spirit feels after certain conversations. Pay attention to the sudden heaviness, the unexpected fatigue, the quiet discomfort. These sensations are messages. They are signals from your soul and warnings from the higher realms. When God elevates you, He also teaches you how to recognize spiritual boundaries. Your energy is sacred. Your peace is valuable. Your spirit is powerful. Protect it without apology. Next, you must walk with spiritual awareness. You cannot live blindly as the world does. Your intuition is one of your greatest gifts. Trust it. When something feels off, it is off. When someone's words do not match their spirit, pay attention. When an environment feels heavy, step back. You are deeply connected to spiritual frequencies, and your intuition receives divine information before your mind fully processes it. Do not ignore what you feel. What you feel is guidance. Prayer, chosen one, is essential to your walk. Not as a routine, not as an obligation, but as your direct communication with the Most High. Prayer aligns your heart with God's will. It strengthens your spirit. It shields your energy. It clears your mind. But understand this: prayer is not only what you speak, it is also what you listen to. Many chosen ones pray, but they do not pause long enough to hear the answers. Prayer is a dialogue, not a monologue. God speaks through signs, through intuition, through dreams, through stillness, through unexpected clarity. When you pray, open your spirit to listen. Discipline is another requirement for the chosen. Your purpose requires you to move differently. Distractions will try to pull you away. Temptations will try to weaken your focus. Old habits will try to resurface, but you must walk with intention. You cannot live reactively. You cannot allow your mind to wander into places that drain your power. You cannot allow your emotions to be manipulated by people who do not understand your soul. Discipline protects your purpose. Chosen one, you must also learn to release what no longer serves you. Many chosen souls hold on to situations, relationships, and environments out of loyalty, hope, or compassion. But not everything is meant to stay with you on your divine path. Some people were only meant to teach you a lesson. Some experiences were meant to awaken you. Some connections were meant to guide you for a season. When their time ends, let them go peacefully. Release is not loss. Release is alignment. As you walk forward, you must embrace self-purification. This is not about perfection. It is about upgrading your soul. Chosen ones often carry emotional residue from past trauma, past relationships, past environments. You must cleanse your energy regularly. Purify your thoughts. Purify your intentions. Purify your heart. Remove fear, resentment, self-doubt, and negative patterns. These do not belong in a chosen soul. The cleaner your spirit, the clearer your guidance. Your purpose also requires compassion, not the kind that makes you weak or easily manipulated, but the kind that reflects divine love. Chosen ones often carry the gift of healing, and healing requires gentleness. When you speak, your words can uplift. When you listen, your presence can restore. When you move with compassion, you reflect the heart of the Most High. But compassion must be balanced with wisdom, so you do not give more than you are spiritually equipped to offer. You must walk with courage. Chosen souls often face decisions that require boldness. You will be called to stand apart. You will be asked to take paths that others fear. You will be guided toward assignments that demand inner strength. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the willingness to move forward even when fear whispers loudly. God does not choose the fearful. He chooses the brave. And every chosen one discovers their courage when they step out in faith. Walking forward also means embracing authenticity. You cannot shrink your voice. You cannot pretend to be smaller than you are. You cannot hide your gifts to make others comfortable. You must walk as you were created, powerful, intuitive, spiritually aware, divinely guided. When a chosen soul lives authentically, the world around them shifts, people awaken, environments clear, energies rise, truth spreads. Authenticity is your spiritual authority. You must also learn to rest. True rest is not laziness. It is spiritual maintenance. When you rest, your spirit reconnects with divine energy. Your intuition resets. Your mind clears. Rest is where God downloads answers, visions, and direction. Many chosen ones become drained because they give to everyone but themselves. But chosen one, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. Rest allows your soul to recharge so your purpose remains strong. As you move forward, embrace solitude when it calls you. Solitude is where clarity forms. Solitude is where spiritual downloads come. Solitude is where your connection to higher realms becomes stronger. Being alone is not punishment for the chosen. It is training. It is elevation. It is alignment. Chosen one, you must remember that you are a light in this world. When you move, darkness takes notice. When you speak, truth awakens. When you pray, realms shift. When you rise, everything connected to you rises. Walk with that awareness. Walk with that confidence. Walk with that spiritual maturity. You must become intentional about your mission. Ask yourself daily, what energy am I carrying? What thoughts am I feeding? What actions align with my purpose? What steps honor my calling? When a chosen soul moves with intention, their path aligns naturally. Opportunities appear, people shift, breakthroughs activate, the spiritual realm clears the way. And finally, chosen one, you must trust the journey. Some days will be clear, some days will be confusing, some seasons will be quiet, some seasons will be intense, but everything will unfold exactly the way it is meant to. Trust what you feel, trust what God shows you, trust the intuitive nudges, trust the divine redirection, trust the timing, trust yourself. You were chosen for a reason. Your presence is not accidental. Your gifts are not random. Your path is not meaningless. Every step matters. Every choice matters. Every moment matters. Walk forward with the truth of who you are, a high-priority soul, guided by God, protected by higher realms, strengthened by purpose, and designed to rise. Conclusion. Step into your divine identity. Chosen one, as we reach the end of this message, take a deep breath and allow everything you've heard to settle into your spirit. Your soul has always been a high priority to God. Not sometimes, not only in moments of clarity, but always. From the very beginning, through every storm, through every battle, through every silent night where you questioned your worth. God's eyes never left you. Now that you know the truth of who you are, the question becomes, what will you do with this awareness? You cannot go back to doubting your identity. You cannot shrink yourself to fit into places your spirit has outgrown. You cannot ignore the signs, the guidance, the intuition, the calling. This message reached you at the perfect divine moment because your next chapter requires a stronger, clearer, more awakened version of you. You are stepping into a new season of purpose, a season where you move with intention, a season where you trust the divine timing that once confused you, a season where you walk with confidence, not hesitation, a season where your spiritual gifts activate fully, a season where you rise into the role heaven prepared you for. Remember this, you are protected, guided, and deeply loved by the Most High. You were chosen long before you knew your own name, and now the world will begin to see what God has seen in you all along. If this message awakens something inside you, make sure you subscribe, stay connected, and share this message with another chosen soul who needs it. Walk forward with courage, chosen one. Your divine identity is calling you. Your purpose is waiting, and God is with you every step of the way.